Squash is a high-speed racket sport played by two players in a four-walled court with a small hollow rubber ball.
After interviewing Coach Bird about squash, we learned some interesting facts about the sport and how it's played.
I started coaching squash, oh boy, what's it been, 11 years ago now?
Mm-hmm.
I had been the basketball coach here, and I had retired from that and started doing director of studies job. And when the school decided to have a squash team, Dr. Clarkson came to me and asked me to do it. And I guess the reason he asked me was that I was the one person on the faculty who had some coaching experience and who had actually played squash.
Yeah.
Now, I hadn't played squash in 10 years when he asked me to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I had never had any formal instruction. But he said, don't worry about it. He said, you'll be the head coach and you'll deal with all the stuff about eligibility and coaching. We'll get you some lessons. And your assistant coach will be the community coach who's one of the best squash teachers in America.
Oh, wow.
So that made it easy.
Yeah.
Squash obviously is played in a room.
Mm-hmm.
And the room's about 30 feet long. It is similar to tennis in that the racket is the same length as a tennis racket, but the string bed, the head of the racket, is much smaller than a tennis racket. The ball doesn't bounce. You have to, as you can see, the ball doesn't bounce.
Mm-hmm.
When you warm up in squash, you aren't warming yourself up, you're warming the ball up.
Yeah.
You get the ball hot so it will bounce. Like tennis, you have to hit the ball over a barrier. In squash, it's the lowest 19, 20 inches of the front wall. It's called the 10. So every ball you strike must be above the 10. After that, it's very similar to tennis in that the object is you must hit the ball before it bounces on the floor twice. You can play it off any of the walls as much as you want to, as long as it's inside the lines. Unlike tennis, the lines in squash are out. Tennis, the lines are in. Squash, you hit the line, you're out. You play the best of three. You play the best of 5 games. First person to 3. Each game is played to 11 points. The scoring is called par, point or rally. In other words, every time the ball goes in play, somebody will win a point, somebody will lose a point.
Students at Harrow School in England created squash rackets sometime between 1830 and 1850. They played a similar game known as hard rackets, or simply rackets. There is only one court available. So some students tried playing on a smaller court ordinarily used for a type of handball. Because the small hard rubber ball used in rackets was too lively for the small court, someone got the idea of puncturing it. As a result, the ball was squashed when it hit the wall, hence the name of the new sport. The U.S. Professional Squash Rackets Association, USPSRA, was founded in 1928 and held its first national tournament in Boston in 1930.
Thanks for watching. I hope you learned a ton about squash.